Good afternoon, everyone. Today our topic is a regression analysis. So last day we discussed about that basic econometrics and the scope of and nature of the econometrics, and we have discussed about that what are the reasons for inclusion of error term in the regression analysis. So far that we need to understand easily what is the regression analysis, how we can estimate the parameters. So we need to understand brief introduction of the regression analysis. Is it visible for you now, Monica?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first introduction, we need to understand easily in the introduction part. So as we discussed about regression analysis in the our second year, so in the first year, in the second semester, we discussed a little bit, but we didn't discuss in-depth analysis of the regression analysis. So first we need to understand who was introduced to that regression analysis in the theory of statistics or in the mathematics discipline or in the economics discipline. The father of regression analysis, Carl F. Gauss, who was father of the regression analysis. So his period is 1717 to 1855. So the regression analysis contributed a lot of things to the various disciplines. So if you take into account mainly, its contribution is very high towards to the physics as well as mathematics and astronomy also. So for example, if you take in the regression analysis, so not only we can use, but also other people, those who have studied the physics, mathematics, and statistics, other disciplines also, they will use a lot of things, a lot of techniques, which is very close to the regression analysis to draw some empirical results. So the term of regression was first used in the 1877 by Francis Galton. So generally, the regression father is different, and who was introduced the regression or was used the regression analysis. So in the 1877, the Francis Galton has used the regression analysis. So we can sometimes they will ask the question that when the regression was when the regression analysis was used in the first time. So there may was a 19th century also because 1877, 1877. So it is the 19th century to describe that regression analysis to concern is a concern with the study of the dependence of a one variable on other or more independent variables. Like the generally why we can use the regression analysis is to understand easily relationship between the variables. So see, it is a study. The regression is a study to study of the relationship between the variables, between the variables, and it is one of the most commonly used tools for the business analysis. For example, if you take into account in the business analysis, so most of the people, most of the marketing in the business strategies, they will use that regression analysis to know that what is the impact of some variable on the other variables. For example, if you take into account, so during that this COVID situations, so impact of COVID on Indian economy. For example, the COVID is a diseases. So how much it is impact on the economy. So that can be we can examine the relationship between the COVID and economy. And for example, if you take the LPG also, for example, if you take in the marketing strategies, for example, as your income increases, how much it can impact on the buying of cars. For example, if you take into account that if your income increases by 50,000 per year, for example, how much your income is affected on the automobile industries. For example, generally, as our income increases, we will prefer to purchase some vehicles. So there is some relationship between the two variables. So that is why the most of the uh, regression, most of the times, we can use the regression analysis in the business strategies, and it is easy to use and applies to many situations. For example, the regression is very easy to use and applies to many situations also. For example, regression is only not meant for that cause and effect. In particular agriculture, it can be used for the physics. It may be used for the in the mathematics. It can be used in the astrology. So it may be used to somewhere. For example, if you take into account, if you believe a god, for example, if you visit a particular temple twice or thrice, so you whatever you expected, it may be happened. For example, so there is also some cause and effect. For example, so as much as possible, if you go to some temples, whatever you think, whatever you expect, it may be happened or may not be happened. So there is a cause and effect. And so regression types. For example, here generally we know that what is the regression, what is called nothing but we can say that y is equal to a plus bx, or y is equal to beta 0 plus beta 1 x1. Okay, so y is called dependent variable, beta 0 is called constant or intercept, b1 is slope or coefficient, x1 is called independent variable. So, for example, here in the regression, there are types of regressions. For example, first one is a simple regression. Simple regression. What is simple regression? There is a cause and effect relationship between the only one dependent variable, one independent variable. That is called single regression. That is called single explanatory variable. Single explanatory variable in the sense, if the variable, if the only one independent variable is called a simple regression. Simple regression. So only when we have that only one independent variable is also called explanatory variable. Explanatory variable. And multiple regression, it includes any number of explanatory variables. For example, nothing but, so in the multiple regression, we have only one dependent variable, more than one independent variables. That is called multiple regression. That is called y is equal to beta 0 plus beta 1 x1 plus beta 2 x2 beta 3 x3. So plus dot 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 beta n xn up to n number of independent variables. That is called multiple regression. Multiple regression. So I'm going to show the equations also. See, for example, if you take in the multiple regression, y is equal to beta 0 plus beta 1 x1 beta 2 x2 plus dot 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 plus bn xn plus p. So what is y here? Y is called dependent variable. Dependent variable. Here beta 0 is called coefficients. For example, sometimes we can write b's, b apostrophe s, that is called b's, coefficients. So first beta 0 is called constant or intercept. So b1 beta 2 is called parameters and term or coefficients. So x1 x2 called are explanatory variables or independent variables. Independent variables. E is called error term. E is called error term. So for example, if you take it account y, it is a dependent variable, is also known as explained variable. Dependent variable is also called explained variable, prediction, regression, endogenous. For sometimes they will ask the questions in the net exams. Endogenous variables. Endogenous variable is nothing but dependent variable. Okay. And independent variables, there is explanatory variables. Independent variables are also called explanatory variables. Explaining variables. Explanatory variable, explaining variable, and predictors, which can influence the y. That is called the predictor. And regressor, exogenous. So exogenous variables are called independent variables. And covariate variable also, covariate nothing but, so it is a independent variables. So here you can see, so yeah, again I'm repeating that dependent variable, the single variable being explained or predicted by the regression model. Only single variable being explained or predicted by the regression model. Independent variables are nothing but independent variables used to predict the dependent variables. So these variables are can be predict the dependent variable. Coefficients, that is the values computed by the regression tool reflecting the explanatory to dependent variable relation. For example, on the base of the coefficient values only, so the coefficient value can reflect the dependent variable. Here E, that is called error term. So error term is called a random term. Error term is also known as a random term, disturbance term, stochastic term. Okay, so this E is also called, there are different names of E. random term, residuals, stochastic, disturbance term. Okay, so there are 4 or 5 names of error term. So you can easily remember. Sometimes they will ask in the different ways. Residuals. So what is the residuals? See, the portion of the dependent variable that is not explained by the model. For example, if you take in the regression model, uh, if whatever the independent variables are not explained, so remaining percentage explained by the error term. Nothing but, for example, when we consider the 2 independent variables, for example, this is a consumption, this is the income, this is another variable. For example, if you take the taste or some any other variable, so the consumption may not depend on these 2 variables. It can be depends on other factors also, other variables. So that other variables, the error term will be captured. There is a portion of the dependent variable that is not explained. That is not explained nothing but, so these variables are not explained in some amount. For example, if you take it account, so some extent only 80% of the variation explained by these 2 variables, but remaining 20% of the variation explained by the error term, nothing but, so other variables which are not included in the model, nothing but unimportant variables. For example, last day we discussed in that what are the reasons for inclusion of error term? This error term. Sometimes even known factor, unknown factors, we cannot include the variables. In that case only we will include the error term, because it can explain unexplained variation. So this is called, if you take into consider this thing from here to here, this is called explained variation. This is called unexplained variation. Because so that what are the variation is there that is not explained by the these variables. It can be explained by the other variables. So in the regression analysis also, we have that 2 types of analysis. So one is a linear regressions. Another one is a non-linear. So what is linear and what is non-linear? So it is a straight line. For example, if the relationship between the 2 variables or the straight line, that is called linear regression. So generally the linear regression, for example, the coefficient, the power, if the power value is equal to 1, that is called linear term. So here in the when we are taking into account the 2 variables, in the 2 variables, if the relationship is existing as a straight line, there is a linear regression. Sometimes when we have the 2 variables, but there is a relationship is a curvilinear, it may be cross. That is called non-linear. It implies curved relationship. There is a logarithm relationship. And the linear, we can say that y is equal to mx plus c, or mx plus b, or y is equal to a plus bx, because its power value is only 1. See, x power value is only 1. That is the case, there is a linear. So for example, in the non-linear, so if you take into y is equal to mx plus square plus bx or b, sometimes it's non-linear nothing but y is equal to b0 plus beta 1 x square plus beta 2 x2 cube or square also. That is called non-linear, because there is a non-linear relationship between the 2 variables. So I will show in the graph also, and the cross-sectional. So already I told you in the last class what is the cross-sectional data and time series data. So the cross-section data gathered from the same time of the period. So time series is nothing but involved data observed over a equally spaced point of in time. See, the simple linear regression model. See, when you take into account this linear relationship, see the straight line. When you consider the 2 variables, if the relationship is like this straight line, when you the data, if you plot the graph, if you get like this a diagram, so that is a linear relationship. For example, only one independent variable x, and the relationship between x and y by the linear function. So changes in y and assumed to be caused by changes in x. See, for example, what is the relation? As we know, as we studied that correlation and regression in the basic regression analysis and correlation analysis, we have studied that positive relation and negative relation. For example, see, if the two variables are moving in the same direction, that is called strong positive relation. For example, you see why it is a strong positive, because the plots, if you take into the red dots, are very close to the straight line, which is 45 degrees. So here there is a strong positive relationship between the two variables. So this is a strong negative. For example, see, this is a negative relationship. For example, if you take price and demand. So here the line is straight, but the relationship is negative, because see, as we are watching here, see the red dots are very close to the this line, black line, that is a straight line. That case, in that case only, the strong negative relationship existing between the two variables. For example, no relation. For example, if the values are there, for example, it seems that there is some little bit relationship between the variables. But when you draw a graph, so for example, see the red dots, which are very away from that red line. So in that case only, we can say that there is no relationship. Sometimes it may be around like this, zero model of some dots. So we cannot find the relationship between the two variables. But when you measure in the mathematically or empirically, we will get some relationship, whether it's a positive or negative or weak or moderate. For example, if you take into account in this graph, see, by looking at the graph, we say that no relationship. But if you take the actual data, if you run the regression analysis, you will get some relationship between the x variable and y variable. Generally, if you take into account, see, sometimes when the doctors check our hand, a pulse rate, for example, by looking at the pulse rate only, you may not conclude that you have not been suffering from a fever. For example, you may have the doubt. When he checked the pulse rate, he didn't find out anything. In that case, you will refer to the test, the blood test. So after testing the blood test, you may get some results. That is called empirical results. On the basis of empirical results, you will say that whether you have been suffering from fever or not. So like this, when you put the graph, you may conclude that there is no relation. But when you do some empirical analysis, you will get some results. On the basis of results only, you will conclude that there is a relationship or there is no relationship. So we will find how we can do also. Let we can see. So this is the estimated regression model. For example, the sample regression line provides an estimate of the population regression line also. See here, y is called y cap is estimated y value, and estimate of regression. There is a b0 is intercept, and b1 is called estimation, that is a slope, and x is called independent variable. So here plus e error term. For example, if you take into account a real estate agent wishes to examine the relationship between the selling price of the home and its size. For example, nowadays, if you take into account real estate business is a trending one. For example, so as an agent, for example, if you are acting as an agent in the real estate, so you want to know that whether is there any relationship between the price of the home and its size. For example, it's square feet or square yards. So as square yard or square feet increases, whether the selling price of the house increases or decreases. So in that case, you need to collect the information. So here, a random sample of 10 houses is selected. For example, as an agent, so he is doing a business, he will select a information from the 10 houses. That is, a dependent variable is a house of the price, and independent variable is a square feet. For example, as our home square feet is increases, whether the selling price of the commodity of the house is increase or decrease. So he has collected information like this. For example, see sample data, house of the price. So it is in the dollar. So don't bother about it. And square feet. For example, if the house of the the house square feet is 1400, the selling house price is 245 the dollars, thousands. So So here the square feet is increases from 14 to 16. Here the price of the house also increases. So sometimes even the price house square feet as increases, sometimes the price of the house also decreases. So he has collected a 10 sample data. Then he estimated that whether the square feet increases, how much house price will be affected. So you need to estimate. How we can estimate? See, so by simple, he is taken this data and he is put it in the some software or that is Excel or if you take the SPSS or use softwares, and you will get easily. See, this is an Excel sheet. He is entered this values in the house price and square feet. So in the regression analysis also, see, for example, after entering the data, you need to go the data. Here the data is available. So within the data, if you click it, it will be displays that regression model. After enter the regression, so some dialog box will open. So here you need to enter the input range and input X range and input Y range. So here we need to define what is X and what is Y. So after enter the details in the dialog box, you need to click OK. So after click the enter button, you will get some results. This kind of results. So it is a regression statistics. So it's a multiple R value, R square value. So we will discuss later R square and a multiple R and adjust R square value. So before going to this regression statistics, we need to go this intercept values. See here coefficient value, how much we get. See here yeah, see 98.24, that is the intercept value and square feet. See here intercept value is 98.24 and coefficient value is 0.10. This is a estimated regression line. Estimated regression line. So what it means, for example, when you have the data, if you get the values, what are the uses by using these values? So what is interpretation? We need to know. See, if you plot the graph also, see house price and scatter plot and regression line. See, this is a square feet. As square feet increases, whether the house of the price of the increase or decrease. So when you look at this graph, so there is a positive relationship between the house price and square feet. Nothing but as square feet increases, house of the price also increases. Simple. The first our classification. And second one, what is intercept here? When there is no changes in the square feet, you will get a certain price. That is called intercept, a constant value. Even if nothing will be changed in the x variable, that is the independent variable, there will be a certain price the agent will get. Nothing but if there is no square feet of the particular house in the particular areas, if he not able to increase, for example, if he has a 100 square feet, if he doesn't want to increase from 100 to 120 or 110, so this is a constant. He is not able to increase his square feet, but he will get certain price. That is called intercept. So here the slope. Here slope nothing but if the agent is going to increase by 1 feet, how much is going to get price? That is called this 0.10. Nothing but if the agent is going to increase by 1 unit of square feet, he is going to get that 0.10 rupees in the dollars. So here the interpretation of the intercept also. See beta 0, there is a beta 0, this one beta 0 is nothing but 98.24 is estimated average value of y when the value of x is 0. When the value of x is 0, nothing but here if the square feet is 0, the per agent is not able to increase his square feet, but he will get agent will get certain price, that is called constant price or intercept on intercept. If x is equal to 0 in the range of observed x values. Here, no houses had 0 square feet, for example. So no houses, 0 square feet. So beta 0 is 98.24. Indicate that for houses within the range of this size observed, $98.24 is the portion of the house price not explained the square feet, which is not explained by the square feet. Then beta 1, nothing but slope. So here measures the estimated changes in the average value of y as a result of 1 unit change in x. 1 unit change in x. So here, if x is increases by 1 unit of the square feet, how much the house price is going to affect? That is called 0.10. For example, if you increase your square feet by 1 square feet, so your house price will be increased by 0.10 because there is a positive sign and it will be there is a positive relationship between the square feet and house price. Here beta 1 is equal to 0.019 tells us the average value of house increased by 0.109. So that is equal to that is dollars, that is 109.77 on the average for each additional 1 square foot of the size. Is it clear now? Are you getting? Are you getting or not? Monica, Manoj, Srikanth, are you there?
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Sir, I mean,
For example, see here the house price. For example, as a marketing agents, in the field of marketing, what they will think that if we increase the square feet of 2,000 square feet, how much he will going to get extra money? See here, estimated regression line, that is 98.25 plus 0.1098 square feet. Predict the price of the house with 2,000 square feet. Nothing but if, for example, you are the house agent, if you want to increase a house by the 2,000 square feet, but how much you are going to get additional amount when you are increasing square feet? If you sell that house, how much you are going to get? So see here. See, so we need to take these values is equal to 98.25 plus 0.10 square feet. So in the square feet, we need to enter how much you would like to extend or expand your square feet. These are 2,000. So here 98.25 plus 0.1098 into 2,000. How much you will get? So whatever you get 0.10 into 98 into 2,000. So that much you can add to the 98.25. Then you will get 317.85. So that the predicted price for the house with 2,000, the square feet is 317.85. That's a $10,000. That is called $371,850. $850. So simple. So when you are increasing the 2,000 square feet, you will get in the form of dollars. That is called $317.50. So can I give another example, or is it easy? Or else I will give you another example. See. For example, y is equal to a plus bx. If a is equal to 12.5 plus b is equal to 0.8 x. For example, as you see that, so here y is called supply, x is called price. Okay, here y is called supply, x is called price. See, if the price increases by 2 rupees, how much supply increase? See, we will take this one here. Sorry, why? See here, y is equal to 12.5 plus 0.8. X is equal to how much? Here 2. What is the price? Into 2. Then is equal to 12.5 plus 0.8 into 2, how much? 1.6 is equal 12.5 plus 1.6, how much? So 14.1, I think. 14 point, sorry, 13.1, 13 point, 13 or 14, sorry. Yeah, 14.1. See, for example, here I'm going to repeat again. If the price of the commodity is 0, that supply is 12.5. Okay, the price of the commodity is 0. The price, nothing but if the certain things are which are provided at free of cost, the supply is 12.5. When we are increasing the price of the commodity, how much they're going to supply? The price, when you put the price is 2 rupees, okay, so the supply is going to increase by 0.8 units. So per unit, their supply is going to increase by 0.8. So here the price is increased by 2 rupees now. So that's why only the supply maybe increases 1.6 units. Earlier, when x is equal to 0, the price is equal to 0, supply is 12.5. Okay, when x is equal to 2 rupees, supply is 14.1. For example, you see, when the x is equal to 3 rupees, the supply is how much? Supply is so 14.9. How? See, how? Say 12.5, 0.8 by 3 rupees. 12.5 plus 0.8 into 3, how much? 2.4. 2.4 is equal 14.9. See, this one and this one. Is it clear now? Have you got the information about the regression analysis? Simple regression analysis. Hello? Manoj, అర్థమైందా?
చెప్పండి సార్.
అర్థమైందా అంటున్నావు?
ఓకే సార్.
శ్రీకాంత్.
హలో, ఎస్ సార్.
మౌనిక,
అర్థమైంది సార్.
మౌనిక,
సార్
అర్థమైందా అమ్మా?
అర్థమైంది.
If you have any doubt, you can raise the questions.